What is up, folks? This is Andrew with MyWatchAddiction.com, and today we have another prototype watch to take a look at with you. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Boldr Supply Company's Globetrotter that is currently on pre-order. Now, I was lucky enough to get my hands on a prototype version of this Globetrotter thanks to a little bit of a watch tour that Boldr Supply Company arranged with Scott over at Watches Galore. Now, Scott just recently sent me this watch, so I'm extremely appreciative to him. I'll post up a link in the description section below of all the channels this watch is going to be visiting, so you can definitely check out their videos in the future as well if you want to see what they have to say about this Boldr Supply Company Globetrotter. Anyway, because we're reviewing Boldr, it's my thing, I guess, the typical thing that I do. If I have a watch from a watch company that I'm reviewing, I'm gonna wear it during the video that I'm reviewing a watch for them. So today is that Boldr Expedition. This is one of those watches that sits in my collection and gets thrown on from time to time. It's an easy grab and go. Don't have to think about it, just grab it and go. Matches with anything. Plus it's a really, really slick watch with that full face lume. So happy to have this one in my collection. It's not one that I've thought about trading or selling away. It's one that's definitely going to be sticking around for a while. Anyway, guys, if you have not seen my videos before, I usually drop new videos Mondays and Fridays. My schedule's been kind of crazy lately, so I've been off the past few weeks with my timing on things, but my target is to drop a new video on Mondays and Fridays, so definitely come back and check those out. If you're not a subscriber and you smash that subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, you'll get notified each time I drop a new video. But that's not why we're here. Let's tear into this new GMT from Boldr Supply Company. So you guys might be familiar with this. This is the Boldr travel case that they send a lot of their watches in. Again, guys, this is just a prototype. So I am honestly not sure what it's going to come in with final shipping and what's going to come in final packing, but nevertheless, just wanted to show you their case, open it up, and this is the green version, which from what I'm told is one of their most popular color combinations in the pre-order for this Boldr Globetrotter. As we zoom in, the first thing you'll notice, or the first thing I noticed anyway, is that green sunburst dial. And you can kind of see the color shift on the sunburst effect with that green dial in these lights. See right there we have the world time bezel. Now, the prototype is only a unidirectional bezel, but the final production version of this watch will be a bidirectional bezel. My fingers are slippery today. It's not really as hard as I'm making it look like to turn that bezel. The case on this reminds me a lot of the Odyssey. Now, I'm not sure because I didn't ask, but I almost think that they ended up using the Odyssey case for this Boldr Globetrotter. Now, if you're curious about the case size, it's 44 millimeters in diameter, and that's 316L stainless steel case. The movement in this watch that provides that GMT functionality is the Swiss ETA 2893-2 Elabore-grade automatic movement. Now, that GMT hand is independently adjustable as well in that movement. The bezel on this watch is ceramic and does have the imprints of major cities around the world to help you set that GMT functionality. The applied indices, as well as the hands, are rocking a BGW9 lume, so I cannot wait to see this guy in low light once that lume has been charged. The strap, though, this is something that I love on this watch. Huge fan of on this watch. Silicone strap, and you guys know I'm not a huge fan of the silicone straps, but the way they've done the silicone strap on this watch and they mold it directly into the lug, I think looks really sharp. And then the stainless steel case with that black silicone strap, I think offers a great contrast. If we flip it over here, it's not just a normal clasp. We have a Boldr fold over locking clasp with divers, ratcheting divers extension. Now, guys, just to point out, this isn't a flaw in the prototype. I actually sized this, and because this is a prototype, I did not want to cut the silicone strap to make it fit perfectly. And it's not my watch, so I don't want to trash it before I have to send it back. But this is ratcheting diver's extension on this clasp. Huge fan of that. You guys saw me do a ratcheting extension review a couple of videos ago, and it just felt cheap and flimsy. The Boldr Supply Company clasp that they use feels very firm. I mean, there's no play to that whatsoever. Just really nice clasp. And then I personally think I love the contrast between the stainless steel and that black silicone. I just think it looks really sharp. Now they do have the crown down there at that 4 o'clock position, kind of offset a little bit. I think adds to the overall design of this watch. If we talk about the thickness, one thing I forgot to mention, this guy is 14 millimeters thick. So it is a little bit thicker, but not bad for a dive watch. I think, you know, I've worn this one around a little bit, and it's definitely got an extreme amount of comfort. I love how those lugs wrap around my 7 1/4 inch wrist. Last thing I'll add is this guy is rocking an AR-coated sapphire crystal. Now this dive watch does have a 300 millimeter, 300 meter, not 300 millimeter, 300 meter water resistance, especially with that screw down crown, that case design. I would have no concerns about swimming with this guy whatsoever. That silicone strap, that diver's extension on that clasp, absolutely loving this for a dive watch. If you're curious about what these guys are running, like I mentioned, they're currently on pre-order. The pre-order cost right now, pay-in, is about $98 US. They do have, they are releasing a shark mesh bracelet for this watch as well, which is like, I want to say like another $100, give or take. The final price of this, when it's all complete, if you do a pre-order, the final price in US will be $559. $559 is the full MSRP for the pre-order. Now, if you purchase it after the pre-order, that price jumps up to $799. So if you guys are interested in this watch, I'll post a link to their website in the section below. Definitely go and check it out. So that was the Boldr Globetrotter, a GMT dive watch that is currently on pre-order from Boldr Supply Company. I'm going to post up a link in the description section below directly to Boldr. Incidentally, I'm also going to post a link down there to Boldr's Facebook group. Boldr has a Facebook group that they run. You can interact with the staff and management of Boldr Supply Company if you have any questions. Plus, there's a whole bunch of great information in there about Boldr Supply Company, their watches, what their fans like, what they don't like. Really active Facebook group that if you like Boldr watches, you should definitely be a part of. A couple things I want to point out before I take off. Because this is a prototype, there are some things that are going to be a little bit different on this watch when it goes into full production. A couple of them including that dial color, that green in the dial color is going to match the green in the bezel. So you're going to see not that difference in color or shading. Also, speaking of the bezel, instead of a unidirectional bezel, the final production version of this watch will have a bidirectional bezel for that GMT functionality. I also believe that they were going to modify the silicone strap a little bit to provide a better fit in the production model. I'm thinking it's likely going to be around the lugs a little bit because it looks like it's a little bit beefy around the lugs. But I'm loving this watch. I mean, I'm a huge fan, as I mentioned, of the angles that are in this dive watch. I think with all the Boldr watches that I've had, all the Boldr watches that I've reviewed in the past, I've been really pleased with the attention to detail on the watches, the build quality. I think they've definitely been on point. One thing that I find interesting, I've never personally had a watch like this. I've seen quite a bit of them though, but one of the things that I find interesting is that fold over locking clasp on a silicone strap. I think that's a really neat design feature, and I think it definitely adds to this Boldr Globetrotter. But guys, let me know what you think. Do you guys have Any preferences when it comes to a silicone strap? Do you like that fold over lock and clasp on a silicone strap, or do you like just a regular clasp, nothing special to it? Post up in the comments section below and let me know what you guys think. Anyway, guys, I am going to get out of here. If you want to see this watch on my wrist or any other watch that I'm wearing on a daily basis, don't forget to follow us on Instagram /watchaddiction.us. Thank you guys and have a great week.